Curry crew, welcome to The Real Chef Curry, and today we're going to have part 2 of our Diwali special. So without further ado, let's get to it. Like always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Punch that notification bell. And today we have an amazing recipe for you. So in Gujarati we call this Ghughra. All across India in Hindi you can call it Gujiya. Whatever you call it, it's delicious and fantastic. So without further ado, let's get to our recipe.
So for our Ghughra, or you can call it Gujiya, in North India they call it Gujiya. So for our and in Gujarat we call it Ghughra. So for our Ghughra, we are going to first take 1/3 cup of ghee. We took organic cow ghee, and everyone in India makes Gujiya in different ways, so we are just going to share the recipe the way we make. I am taking 2 cups of rava or soji, or you can call it semolina. I am taking half a cup of just coconut powder, half a cup of cashew nuts powder, and half a cup of almond powder. And we are going to roast this on a slow to medium flame, and then we'll let it cool down and mix 2.5 cups of sugar in it once it's completely cooled down. And then we'll add the cardamom powder and other little bit of rose water and other flavorings. So on to the gas. So we are putting it on a low to medium flame, you can see that, and we are going to constantly stir it. We have to be very careful and we have to constantly stir it, otherwise it might stick at the bottom and we don't want to burn anything here. This takes somewhere around 10-12 minutes to completely roast all the ingredients. So guys, if you see, our mixture has been roasted now. I'm going to turn off the gas, and the way you can figure out if it's roasted is by the smell. You can smell it and you will feel that it's completely roasted. Also the color will change and it will become little bit darker. So from that also you can figure it out. Now the next thing which we need to do is we need to immediately transfer it into another container, because this container is hot and we don't want it to keep cooking. So I am transferring it into a bowl very carefully because it's hot and you don't want it to spill also. And we are going to let it completely cool down before we mix our sugar in it. The reason for that is because we do not want any water to be formed, and if we put sugar when it is hot, it will release water. So that's why we are going to let it cool down. So guys, our rava mixture is already cooled down. What I am going to do is I am going to transfer it into a bigger container because we need to mix sugar in it. So this is our rava mixture, transferring into a bigger container. And you know, the best part of this mixture is I make Ghughra, I like to eat them warm, so I keep the mixture in the freeze, and like I make them fresh whenever I want to eat them, and this would last for at least a couple of weeks. When we have people over in Diwali, we make fresh Gujiya or Ghughra out of it. If you want to make all of them right now itself, you can always do that, but I prefer to eat warm, so I make it in batches. And now we are adding 3.5 cup of sugar. So what I did, I took the sugar and I powdered it in a mixture so it mixes well, and we are mixing it with the mixture. Now if you like coconut and rava laddus, you can just add some more ghee in the same mixture and you can roll the laddus as well from this. So you have 2 desserts from one. And I am going to add 2 tablespoons of cardamom powder in it, and this would make it like almost 60-70 gujiyas. Keep that also in mind. You can adjust the quantity based on how many you want to make. So we already made our filling. What I did was I took half of the filling and stored it in an airtight container and kept it in the refrigerator, and remaining half I am making Gujiya right now. So I took 3 cups of maida or whole all-purpose flour, I'm taking 1/3 cup of ghee, and I'm going to knead the dough for the filling. So I'm going to use milk to knead the dough, and I'm going to pour slowly and slowly the milk as required. So I'm going to add the milk slowly and slowly as required. I'm not going to add everything at the same time because we want the dough with a consistency like a dough of a puri. I'll show it to you, or like pizza dough, you know. So I'm just mixing it, and I'm going to add the milk again a little bit. And this dish is loaded with calories and dry fruits, but hey, it's Diwali, so why not? You can indulge once in a year. I had taken originally 1.5 cup of milk in this bowl. So for 3 cups of dough, you need almost like 1 cup of milk, but we are going to add it slowly instead of adding everything at the same time. And at the end, I'm just going to use this ghee which is left on the spoon to completely mix with the dough so that the dough doesn't stick to the pan. And this is how our dough will look like. And if you see, the consistency is like a consistency of a pizza dough. Now we are taking a small portion of the dough and we are rolling it into a ball, and then we are going to roll it with our rolling pin into a thin puri like round puri, and then we are going to take it into our hand like this. Fill the 1 spoon of rava mixture in it, not even one, like half a spoon of rava mixture in it. And you don't want to fill it too much because when you fry it, the inside filling tends to little bit expand, and you don't want it to come out of your gujiya, so that's why you don't fill too much. And then you just do it like this with 2 fingers of yours. If you want, you can take off the glow if you are not comfortable, and it will look like this. So our ghee is heated, so I'm going to put the gujiya which we made in the ghee for deep fry. Guys, this is like empanadas, very similar. This is like Indian empanadas, you know. So after one side is done, we are going to just flip it to the other side. Make sure it's golden brown. So guys, you see, you deep fry them till like they are like golden brown like this, and this is how you should do. And once we are done with all of them, we'll get back to you.
So guys, here are our perfectly homemade gujiyas or Ghughras, whatever you want to call them. They smell amazing. They are right out of the fryer. They're really, really warm. So these are a perfect snack for any festive season. So I want to wish everyone a happy Diwali and make sure that you guys get your hands on these because they're amazing. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and to everyone out there who's celebrating Diwali, happy Diwali, and happy New Year to everyone. And stay tuned for this Saturday because we have an amazing video coming out with a special guest.